Oh, hey there, neighbor. Now, you guys know that we love anime at SuperKamiGuru9000, there's no question. So I'm going to invite you guys to our little vault, where you guys get to see SuperKamiGuru9000's anime collection. Now, any self-respecting anime collection that doesn't have Dragon Ball in it just really wouldn't be a really good anime collection. And if you love shonen series, this is a must-have. And this is pretty much the entire actual canon series. Everything from Dragon Ball all the way through Dragon Ball Z. And these are those sets that were released a few years ago, and they've been redone in a 16:9 format, and I love these versions of the show because, one, the picture itself is very, very nice, but I also have the option of watching it in Japanese. I can watch it with the original music, I can watch it in English with the old music, or even with the brand new Bruce Faulkner music. So this is basically just a great comprehensive collection of the Dragon Ball sets, and if you probably haven't noticed, GT is nowhere to be seen near this, and that's because I think GT is a piece of shit, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I don't like GT at all. I think it's a terrible series, I think it's just too fillerish, and it's just completely unnecessary. But the Dragon Ball series is one of my favorite ones, and it is just a must-have if you're a shonen fan. Now, it's no surprise that we love Naruto, hence we review it every single week. But I love the manga series, but I really love the anime. This is where I discovered Naruto, and these are the original sets that came out a few years ago, and this is sets 1 through 10. And I don't have the sets that follow after, and that's because those are the filler episodes. This is actually episodes 1 through 135. This is pretty much all of the first half of Naruto, from the very beginning to where he fights Sasuke in the Valley of the End. And these are just, again, really, really great sets. I had the option of watching them in Japanese because, really, that's the only way I ever watch my Naruto. And there's just a lot of really great episodes in here. And I did skip the fillers and everything, but I went ahead and started up with Shippuden. And first thing I want to note is that the first couple sets here are actually a little more traditional. They have traditional covers and everything, and they look really, really nice. And they each have individual covers as well that have a ton of great artwork on them. You can see here's Itachi and Kisame, you got Deidara and Gaara, and Naruto and everything. And these all look really, really great. But what happened is, down the line, is they decided to stop doing these really cool box sets. And they decided to release these smaller versions of them, which they get the job done, but frankly, they just aren't that great looking to me. I mean, yeah, they still have some really cool covers and everything, but this is pretty much all you get. You get no more cool, covers, no more cool artwork. But it's still the same amount of episodes, so I really can't complain that much. So far, I have the most current releases right now. It goes all the way up through, I believe, episode 112. This is pretty much all the filler. This is the one that recently just came out. This is the end of the Three-Tail arc. This is actually not a bad filler. Like I said, I didn't buy the filler for these, but I am buying the filler for the Shippuden sets because, frankly, they're just a little more entertaining. But good stuff here. The shonen adventures continue with YuYu Hakusho. This is the series that I think is the real predecessor to Dragon Ball. It came right after it. And these are some great sets right here, because not only are they incredibly affordable, but every single cover features every single main character, and it's just great. And I mean, there's 26 episodes per set. These were like $20 a pop. This is an awesome shonen series that no one really needs to miss. It really is one of the best original shonen manga out there. And again, it kicks a lot of ass. I mean, and these sets are just great. And again, kind of like the older Naruto sets that came out, each one has some really cool artwork on each cover. And this is just a great way to get you pumped up and just, I mean, this is just a great piece in the collection. You gotta have YuYu Hakusho. If you guys have ever wondered if we really like One Piece, then my collection right here really shouldn't, sway you any differently. I mean, just look at how many episodes are here. And what's even funny? This is only the first 200 episodes of the series. They're on episode like 5-something right now, so this is going to be something that's going to be going on forever. Hell, this whole shelf is probably going to be One Piece and probably the next one right after it. But these sets right here are the ones that came out when Funimation decided to start releasing the series. And this is just a really, really great series for people who are getting new into it. Because, I'm not really a big fan of the dub, but Funimation is doing a really fantastic job with it. And the fact that I do have the option to watch all of these in Japanese and everything is great. And again, these are some pretty economical box sets. You get your typical 2 dubs. You get some pretty decent artwork from the covers. Again, I love when they do these type of cases for DVDs because, one, it just protects them very, very well. But everything just looks really great in these. Look at that. You even got a map of the Grand Line inside. So if you're a One Piece fan, you know, if you're a shonen fan, this is just another must-have. Just keep in mind, the series is frigging long. You're going to be collecting it forever. I'm probably going to be collecting this and I have kids by the time it's done. So now we're going to do a complete 180. I'm going to bring out Berserk. Hell yes, this series kicks major ass. And this is the one that is based on the first 13 volumes of the manga series, give or take a few scenes and characters. And this was when I was first introduced to Berserk. This was the very first thing I've actually ever seen from Berserk. And again, look at that fucking cover. That is just awesome. And again, another economical box set. This almost seems like it's a single DVD, doesn't it? But they managed to include all these DVDs in here with a lot of awesome artwork from the manga covers, no less. So this is a lot of really good stuff here. If you're just getting into Berserk, this would be a great way because you can go through the first 13 volumes in about 26 episodes. Maybe one of the best anime of all time. Alright guys, we're finally getting into Blu-ray territory with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Now, I used to own the original series, but at one point I eventually sold it, and I do kind of regret it. But I don't feel as bad anymore, because now I have Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is arguably a much better series. And again, these sets just kick ass. This is one of the best shonen series I've ever seen because, one, it's not overly long. It doesn't outweigh its welcome. It's only about 67 episodes. But it's all really good stuff. There's no filler to be had. Incredible animation, incredible story. Guys, pick this set up. They just started releasing them in even bigger Blu-ray box sets. So this is your second chance to pick up this incredible series. Really, really good. One of my all-time favorites. So the big three is now officially complete when we bring it home with Bleach. And again, another really grand series that started off with some huge box sets. Just look at this thing. You could club a moose to death with this box set. This thing is awesome. The cover arts are really, really good, and they include 26 episodes on these big ones. And then somewhere down the line, they did the same thing that Naruto did, and they decided to change their packaging, and they started releasing them in these formats. And they only released about 13 episodes, sometimes only 11 per set. So these really aren't that economical, considering this is a series that has over 300 episodes, and they're only releasing about 10 episodes to 13 per set. So you gotta really love Bleach if you want these, but luckily I really do. Now again, like some of my other sets, I do skip some of the things, particularly the filler, pretty much only the filler, and you'll notice that pretty much everything here, this is all Soul Society arc. I skipped the bounce stuff altogether, and this is all the current Arrancar stuff that's being released. This is everything so far. So, if you like the manga, chances are you're going to love the anime. I think the anime version of Bleach is a million times better than the manga version, but that's just my opinion. You guys should really check out this series, though. Full of great action characters and artwork. Kicks ass. And now it's time to look at a new member of the SuperKamiGuru9000 family. This is Fairy Tail. I had just started collecting this series, and this is every current release so far. And, you know, I sort of took to this series on a whim. I honestly didn't know if it was going to be good. I figured, hell, look at all the other shonen anime I have. I'm probably going to like this one, too. And lo and behold, I friggin' love the series right now. It is just really, really great. This one right here, I actually just finished watching just last week. And these are just some really great economical sets. These are Blu-ray DVD combos, which means you get a Blu-ray and you get the DVDs. So this is a really great way if you're thinking about getting a Blu-ray player but don't necessarily have one yet. Again, these are actually reversible covers for these two right here. I changed them out because, frankly, I don't want Natsu on every freaking cover. I like that some of the other characters get a chance to show off here. You know, so you got Grey Full Buster on the second one, and you got Lucy on the third one, who's looking fine as hell. So this is just a really, really fun series. This is basically Harry Potter on crack. So, you know, check this series out. It's really fun. Don't write it off because it may seem kind of stereotypical. It has a lot of new things to offer, and it's just really, really fun. So if you guys are looking for a shonen anime to watch on Halloween, I don't think there's really any better choice than Soul Eater. And these are some of the sets that were released by Funimation, and they are all fantastic. This is a series that is incredibly unique. It takes the concept of Halloween and its overall designs and incorporates it into its shonen elements, and they all work really, really well together. This is a series where its artwork is done in a very smart way. And again, there's a lot of non-stereotypical characters in this series that I really, really dig. So check it out. It's Soul Eater. They just started releasing them in actually bigger Blu-ray box sets, so you might want to check those out as they'd be a little more economical. So Toonami brought me Dragon Ball and Gundam Wing, but it was Adult Swim that brought me Inuyasha, one of the first anime series that started to change my concept of what an anime series could be. And, you know, this is one that a lot of people either love or they hate, and it has a lot to do with the main characters themselves and the actual concept of the story. Yes, it is kind of a feudal Japan love story, but there's a lot of really kick-ass action, Japanese demons, really interesting story arcs, and the artwork is just fantastic, especially the backgrounds. If you've ever wanted to see what old-school Japan looked like, this is the series to look at. And this is the entire original series right here, and this over here is the movie collection, which, again, are really, really great. They're basically just really great filler. And eventually, hopefully, Viz will release the final act on Blu-ray and DVD, as that is the final 26 episodes of the series, and I haven't even seen them yet. So, Viz, if you're actually watching this video, get on your shit. The last bit of the Shonen Wall brings us to the movie collection. This is where there's different various movie versions of all of the Shonen series that I really love, and it starts with Dragon Ball Z. And what's great is a few of these are actually on Blu-ray, and what's cool about these movie sets is they put 2 on each disc. So it's really economical and it's really cool. The first one has Dead Zone, which is one of my favorite Dragon Ball Z movies, and the world's strongest. The second one is a little bit of a mixed bag for me. It has the Tree of Might, which I think is the worst Dragon Ball Z movie ever made. Yes, even more worse than Bio Brawly. And then, of course, you got Lord Slug, which is another one of my favorites, where Goku becomes sort of a pseudo-Super Saiyan. These right here, though, these are my favorite ones. And unfortunately, this one isn't in Blu-ray, but it's still in a 16:9 format, digitally remastered, and kickin' ass. Cooler's Revenge and the Return of Cooler. Nothing but great action and kick-ass stuff here. You gotta check these out. But then you got a few more. You got Android 13. Can't believe there's more androids there, huh? And then you got BoJack Unbound, which is just... You know, I can't even describe BoJack Unbound. It's just ridiculous. There's a big green guy and Gohan kicks his ass. And then, of course, you got the Brawly trilogy. They decided to put all 3 Brawly films on this one. And, you know, if you're just hanging out with some friends and you want to just watch some kick-ass stuff, drink a few beers, this is one you need to check out. Really something you need to put your brain out of your body to watch this one. Then we got Naruto movies, and these are the ones from the very original series. You have Ninja Clash in the Land of Snow, which is Naruto finishing off a villain with a Rasengan. You have the second movie, where Naruto finishes off the villain with a Rasengan. You have the third movie, where Naruto uses a new Rasengan to finish off the villain. But guess what? It gets even crazier, because you have the Shippuden movies. And you know what Naruto does in this one? He finishes off the villain with a Rasengan. Pretty cool stuff, right? But it gets even crazier, because you have Naruto Shippuden Bonds, and he takes down the villain and an entire airship with Rasengans. Good stuff. This is also noticeable for being the very first Blu-ray Naruto released in America. So, hey, Viz, if you want to start releasing those sets in Blu-ray, that'd be cool too. More freaking movies! The Bleach movie. Guess what? Rasengans don't end in this one. These are actually really, really well done movies. They're basically everything the fillers should have been, and, you know, the animation, the character's awesome. This is Diamond Dust Rebellion, which is actually the second movie. You got the first movie here, which is just, I mean, look at that artwork right there. That's all freaking great. The whole movie looks like that all the time. And like Naruto getting its first Blu-ray set, Bleach just got its first one with the third Bleach film, which just came out a few months ago. This is the best Bleach movie ever. Everything about this is great, just good stuff all around. The end of the Shonen Shrine ends with what I consider to be one of the greatest anime of all time, if not the greatest. Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. This series is downright incredible. From Studio Gainax, this is one of the most unique mecha series I've ever seen. And it's not so much a mecha series as it is also a shonen series, and that's why I decided to include it on this shelf. These are some of the original sets that came out. These only have the Japanese dub on that, but I am completely okay with that, as it is an incredible dub. The animation in this series is indescribable. It is absolutely incredible. The story is timeless, it's really great, and again, these sets are really economical and good. Unfortunately, these are sets that were released by Bandai Entertainment, as Gurren Lagann is owned by Bandai Entertainment at the time, and seeing as how they have just been recently shut down, these sets are going to become incredibly rare and very hard to come by. So if you're thinking about getting Gurren Lagann, I'd recommend buying them up as soon as possible because Bandai Entertainment isn't just going to make them anymore, and it's a shame because this series is downright incredible. But it actually gets better because they re-released these movie versions of the series, which basically condenses everything down into 2 movies. And if you haven't already tell, the artwork on this one right here is just freaking awesome. But the good thing about these films is that they actually have a pretty good amount of new material in them, in particular the second film here. In the original series, there is a final episode, but what this does is it basically adds another final episode on top of that. There's a huge battle at the end of the series, and in this movie they decided to add a whole new 30 minutes to that battle, and it is one of the most intense things I have ever seen, and the amount of time it must have taken to animate it is just insane. And this is a remastering of the series, and it looks really good. And again, this is another Bandai Entertainment release, and this is one that you could only buy at their online store, which no longer exists. Which means the only way you're getting these DVDs is if you're eBaying it. So these are officially very, very rare. But if you do have an opportunity to see these, they're really fantastic, and they're a great way to get into the series without having to watch the entire thing. And one more little thing on the Shonen Shelf, just one thing I couldn't have myself part with. Now, as I said before, I got rid of my old Full Metal Alchemist series because I now got Brotherhood. But this is the movie, The Conqueror of Shambhala, and I just didn't want to get rid of this film because it's really, really well done. It's really a great cap-off to the original series, and it's just really unique in its own way. You know, this is completely different from anything that happens in Brotherhood, and the ending itself is pretty satisfying. And it's got some really great animation, some incredible music, really, really great writing. And if you're a fan of the original Full Metal Alchemist series, or if you're just a fan of the series in general, I do recommend checking this out. Just sort of look at it as kind of an alternate retelling of what could happen. This is an awesome movie, and I just couldn't get rid of it.